Hi, I'm Carrie. Welcome back to my channel. So we are headed into the final decks that's on shelf 2 of my tarot cabinet. And this is episode 7. I think that's right. And I'm probably have a minimum of 2 more episodes, possibly 3, to finish out this cabinet. I can't, like I've already said this, I can't believe the amount of decks that I have shoved into this pie safe. So today's decks are, I think they're all mass market. I'm looking very quickly. Yes, I think these are all mass market that I have left. And these are the decks that I either are new and haven't had a chance to really get to know or use, or I just don't use that often, or I'm not fond of, and that's why it doesn't get used. Not that I'm not fond of where I want to get rid of it, that kind of, but I just haven't found the way I want to work with the deck yet. I'll put it that way. So we're going to start off with a few angel decks I have. And this one is the Tarot of Light. And this is a Blue Angel deck by, is this Tony Carmine Salerno is the artwork. So everybody's seen this deck. I don't know why I don't use this deck. Honest to God, I don't. Because when I do use it, I really, really like it. I don't know if it's the size of the deck that's my problem, but it's oracle size, so that's kind of a stretch, I guess. But yeah, I don't ever think to pull this one out to use it. And it's a very gentle and loving deck because I used it quite a bit when I first got it. Maybe I don't pull it because of, like I said, the deck overwhelm that I've got going on and trying to use up all the new stuff that I get in. So maybe that's why it's been put to the side. But the images on here are absolutely stunning. I love them. Like I said, I like the gentleness of it. I like the color palette also. So the thing I'm finding as I show you these decks, I am also in the process. Hey, is that the same as the Lovers? Look, I just noticed that. I'm going to take a minute to find that. It is. There they are again. Ecstasy and Union. But anyway, I am rediscovering these decks as I am doing this deck collection. So that's good because, you know, when you don't use something for a while, you forget how good the deck really is. And if I continue to ramble, we will never get through this pile. So another angel deck is the Angel Wisdom Tarot by Radley Valentine. I keep this little key in there. It was one of his, I don't know, free webinar things that he had and talked about having a key with your deck. And if you ask me what it entails now, I don't remember. It was like 3 years ago. So I'm sure I have a paper tucked in the guidebook. Anyway, I like this deck. I like Radley's decks. And I've already talked extensively about my work with angels. So, you know, it's a no-brainer for me to have this one. And man, I really like the images on this one too. I gotta get these decks out and play with them. So this is the Angel Wisdom. And my last angel deck is the Guardian Angel Messages Tarot by Radley Valentine. Now this is the one where the images changed, because he did the Guardian Angel deck with Doreen. And that's the one that has like the grandma-ish type, grandma-ish type images. with the cherubs and that at the very top of each card, and then the big write-up on the card. So these images are completely different, but I have that original deck and I compared it to this guidebook, and the guidebooks are identical. They're absolutely identical. So if you wanted to get this deck for the updated images and just the keywords on here, then I would say by all means. But if you're getting it because you think the guidebook's going to be different, it is not. The guidebook is the same. It's just updated. Oh man, this is a really good one too. I have got to get these out next year and use them. Oh, here we go. The gremlins got in my decks. Oh, okay. We're going to pick this up because I don't know what's what. But yes, sorry about my voice. It is still coming and going. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know what is going on with it because I don't feel ill in any way. But so this is the Guardian Angel Tarot. So now I'm going to show you a small handful of decks that I don't use that often. And then we'll finish them up with the new decks or decks I've only used a couple times. So this one is the Llewellyn Tarot. I use this deck for clients a lot. So I guess I do use it because I do read with it quite often for clients. I just don't read with it for myself. I don't know why. I know a lot of people love this deck, and it is beautiful. It's just never one I think to grab if I'm going to, you know, like I said, read for myself. And I haven't pulled it out and used it in probably almost 2 years now, only because of the accumulation of new decks that I've gotten in. But this is a very lovely deck, and I really do need to utilize it more. So another deck I do not use often is, I always say the name wrong, Forest of Enchantment Tarot. I don't have a reason why I don't use this deck that often. Because the handful of times that I've used it, I have loved the readings that it has given me. I even said in a VR that this deck takes me back to childhood. So it kind of really connects me to my inner child. It reminds me of my grandmother's a lot. Because, you know, I don't know, I felt like I had magical adventures there when I was outside playing in the woods or in the garden or in the orchard. It was just like a magical time. So in that sense, it does remind me of that. It's one I really just need to get out and use more. Fantasy storybook vibe. I love these characters on here. I love her. Yeah, it's just one I like I said, that I just need to get out of my cupboard and use more often. And maybe by rearranging things, I will pull it out more often. So this deck was newer to my collection, I think last year. I can't remember when it came out. The Pastoral Tarot by Lisa Hunt. This came out in 2022, and I had all these wonderful plans for it and didn't use it. Not because there's anything wrong with the deck, because the month that I did start working with this deck, the readings were so relevant. And even though I live in a, I guess we're considered a city. We're not like the little towns and boroughs that are next to us. So we are considered a city. But I mean, I don't have to drive far to see farmland. On the way to take my son to college, we drive through all kinds of farmland and, you know, past stables and cows and, you know, everything. So while I'm, you know, not out west or any Midwest and see that, I still am surrounded by this atmosphere. And I even said, I think in a VR, that one image in here of the red barn. Oh, you see all kinds of barns on the back roads of the country roads here. So this is really relevant, I guess, to depicts where I live. So I love it for that. And I just need to use it more. I have nothing to say about the deck that, you know, is detrimental in any way, because I just love the images of it. It just makes me think of small town living. And like I said, even though we're considered a city, I consider us a small town because we're less than 17,000 people here. So, you know, this is a small town to me. Another deck that I just don't use, which I've talked about before, is the Tarot of the Abyss. When I used it, I had really good readings with it, but I didn't work with it long enough. I did a few readings on it or with it and stopped. I really do love these images. I almost wish that this deck was reprinted in color. I really think that's what my hang up is on this deck. I thought, oh, I need a black and white deck in my collection. It's just, I have to have one because everybody else had one, so therefore my fantasy self had to have one also. And I don't use it. And I think that's really what my hang up is on this deck, is because it's black and white, sort of sepia, a little bit off-white, really. But it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. The illustrations are just beautiful. So I think I need to work past that hang up of that, or consider adding color to it myself. Because I have seen where people posted that they did add some color, like spot color, onto their cards. And I thought about that, but then I'm so terrified that I'll ruin an image, and then I'll really not want to work with the deck. So I haven't decided what I'm going to do yet. Am I just going to try to work with it as is, or am I going to think about adding some like spot color in and seeing how I feel when that happens? Yeah, I don't know. So, and I can't say that I'll make my mind up anytime soon either. Now, this deck, the Fifth Spirit Tarot by Charlie Claire Burgess, is the Hay House mass market version. I've used this deck a few times to read for a couple clients. And that's really it. I didn't, and it's not because there's anything wrong with it. I just haven't had a chance to really get to know this deck properly. And I really, really want to. You know, I've said before, if you're not new here, that I don't like pips, but these pips don't bother me because it's not just four swords stacked on top of each other and nothing else on the card. So there's a little bit more of a depiction here of what is going on, and those are the kind of pips that I don't mind. I guess, what is that called? Semi-illustrated pips? I don't know. But yeah, I really do want to get to know this, want to get to know this deck better because I really, really, really liked it for the couple readings I did for clients. Another one that I've just barely scratched the surface with is the Unfolding Path Tarot by Athene Noctua. Is that how you say it? See, I just this is the Hay House edition, and I did do a deck interview with this. I did a couple other readings with this, and oh my gosh, I just love it. I love the images. This is fabulous. It's going to go in my pile of my favorites with my Light Seer and Tarot Mystical Moments and all of those that I've already shown, because I love the images so much on here. So I really can't wait to get to know this deck better. This cardstock is thick. But yeah, so I can't say too much about it, but I know this is really popular, and that's a cool looking devil. Nice diversity in here also. I really like the white space around the edges. I do really like that, which I think when it's like that, it makes it easy to pair with some other decks. I will have to report back when I get to know this deck fully. And can we just appreciate how beautiful the inside of this box is? Now I'm going to show you decks I haven't used at all. Not at all. And there's just a handful of these, and then this wraps up shelf 2. So the first one I'm going to talk about is Tarot for the Great Outdoors. I haven't had this that long. A month maybe? I can't remember when I showed it. So I haven't used it because I haven't had time, and I don't want to use it right now. I don't feel this is like the right season, the right time to use this deck. I've talked about this. I already talked about the cardstock on this, although I have heard back from a couple people who do have this deck and have already used it and shuffled it quite a bit, and they said they haven't had any issue with the cardstock. So I'm really interested to see how this holds up for me, because this is pretty much as bad as the Brian Froud Fairies Oracle. I love these images on here. I know these images stray from the traditional Rider-Waite-Smith deck. So I'm going to be interested to see how this deck ends up reading for me, how we get along, because it strays, you know, so far from everything. So yeah, I'm just going to be really curious to see what comes of this. So if you have the Tarot of the Great Outdoors, what are your thoughts on it? Do you like it? Do you like the cardstock? What do you think of the cardstock? How do you think it reads for you? I'd love to hear that. I'd love to hear about any of these decks that I'm showing and whether or not you like them. So this one, very, very briefly, I'm going to show this. This is my Tarot of the Enchanted Garden. I have a whole walkthrough of this deck, so I am not going to talk that much about it. I had mentioned that I picked this deck up because I thought it would be like, I was trying to decide between this and my Mind's Eye Tarot. That's basically what I was trying to do, and I didn't want to get both of them, so I thought, oh, well, this would, you know, they would overlap each other. But after looking at the Mind's Eye Tarot more, no, the Mind's Eye is so much more vibrant, and so I'm probably going to end up getting that deck at some point too. But I'm really excited to work with this one. I haven't decided when yet, but this is I want to work with in the coming year. So my next deck was a spur-of-the-moment purchase at Barnes & Noble, is the Zodiac Tarot. This is by US Games. I should have waited and bought it online, or I could have bought it on sale. But the whole purpose, yeah, listen to this reasoning, because it's ridiculous. Okay, so the whole purpose of this is, oh, I'm going to get this tarot because I need it for the symbolism on the cards and to learn, get more comfortable with the zodiac symbols and the planetary symbols and, you know, all that I tried to fill my head with of why I needed this deck. However, I do like in the guidebook where it says like Sun and Scorpio, second decan, you know, and that kind of thing. And while I didn't get to do the decan, while I didn't get to do the decan walk this year, I would like to eventually do that. In that regard, I think this deck will help me a little bit with that. But to say that I'm using it for the symbolism on it is ridiculous when I've already shown other decks that had the same symbol on it, but the guidebooks didn't have about the decans and that in it. So, you know, there's my justification. So I really haven't worked with this deck at all. So I'm curious to see, you know, how it's going to read for me. So it's right now I'm kind of viewing this as a study deck, but I like the black backgrounds of it. I really do. And I like the images on here too. So it's going to be interesting to read with this deck. We're down to our last 4. This is brand new. Picked this up, I want to say late summer, early fall. This is the Tarot of the Hidden Realms. This deck had been on and off my wish list for quite some time. And I watched some people just really talking about their love of this deck, and apparently I can be easily swayed into purchasing a deck because of another's thoughts on it. So I'm really, really curious to see how this deck is going to speak to me, and what these characters have to say, because I really do like that it is the close-up. I think there's, this is by, I don't, let me get this book out if I can, because it is tight. Barbara Moore and art by Julia Jeffrey. Isn't this the one where there's a new one out just like this, but about witches, if I'm not mistaken? Witch Sister? Is that correct? Maybe? I don't know. But I got plenty of witches decks, and I like this fairy realm, or, you know, this other realm that these characters are in, and I can't wait to explore it. Another deck that is new that I have not used is the Heaven and Earth Tarot. Now, I picked this up last year, but never got around to using it. And what happened was I was trying to decide between this and the Runic Tarot. Maybe the Runic Tarot was up for pre-order. I can't remember. But I thought, oh no, this one is, you know, readily available. I'm going to go ahead and order this one. So here's the thing. I can barely see the symbols and stuff on the bottom of the card. These cards are really dark. I mean, even, I don't know, obviously I don't know yet because I'll know when I edit, but I don't know how it's showing for you on camera, but these cards are very dark. Way darker in person than I ever expected them to be. I don't know why. I even watched some walkthroughs, so I don't know if they just had better lighting or what, but these cards are very dark in person, which gives it a whole mood and a whole vibe. So I'm curious to see how this is going to read for me. This is another one I'd like to use this coming year. Let me know if you have this and how it reads for you. You know, do you have trouble seeing the symbols on the bottom? It'll be one I have to get out a magnifying glass to see it. Boy, that's pretty. But, oh, here we go. Half the deck upside down again. But I really do like the images on here. My next to last tarot I'm going to show you is the Runic Tarot. I haven't even used this. I think I flipped through to make sure the cards were there, and that was that. These images are stunning. And if I had to pick between Heaven and Earth and this one, I would pick this one over the images. These images are right up my alley. I mean, I know this is like the whole Norse, you know, vibe with the runes and everything, but this is just, it makes me think of the Vikings show that we watched. My husband and I watched when it was on. So yeah, I love this whole vibe to this. And I kind of wish that I just would have waited and picked this one up instead of the Heaven and Earth. But I'm not going to discount that Heaven and Earth because I haven't given it a chance. So I shouldn't, you know, knock it before I try it. But this one is, oh my gosh, it is just so beautiful. Oh my God, doesn't this look like Ragnar? If anybody watched that Viking series, and Lagatha. Love it. Oh, you see, that definitely looks like Lagatha. And that looks like that, sorry I'm rambling right now, but, oh geez, I can't, the seer or whatever the guy's name was in the village that, the prophet, or I can't remember what he was called, the seer, I think, where he was blind, but everybody came to him for guidance. That's what he looks like. Yeah, I'm kind of just flipping through. Sorry, I'm kind of just flipping through all the cards so I can get a good look at them. Oh man, those are pretty. I can't wait to use this deck. And the final deck for shelf 2, Tarot della Nuit. Have I used it? Nope. So if I haven't used this, tell me why I bought the Oracle. Oh, if you missed that episode where I talked about the Oracle, this cardstock's pretty decent. I do need to get this out and use it. It's body beautiful. That's okay. That doesn't even bother me. I just need to get it out and use it and see how it reads. If you watched and I don't know what part it was. If you watched back on the oracles when this Della Nuit oracle came up and I told you I wouldn't use it because I was so frustrated for even purchasing it and not following my gut and that and letting myself be swayed by other opinions. This was kind of the same thing. So, a matter of fact, I think I bought them at the exact same time, if I remember correctly. I'm almost positive I bought them at the exact same time, and yeah. But I need to get over it. I need to get over it, and I need to use it. Because I really do. I like the images. Like I said, I don't care that they're all, you know, the same age in here. So, and just see how it reads. I haven't even looked at the guidebook for this. I don't even know what it says. So, if you have this deck, please give me encouragement to read with it. What kind of readings do you use this deck for? Is there a specific season, time, or reason, whatever, that you pull this deck out and use it? I need serious inspiration for using this deck. So let me know. Let me know in the comments why you use the Tarot Della Nuit deck and how it works for you. Inspire me. So, do you have any of the decks that I showed today, the ones that I don't really work with or are new and just haven't had a chance to work with? Because, you know, that happens sometimes as our collection grows. So I'm really curious to know. We are coming down to our final couple episodes. Like I said, maybe 2 or 3 episodes are left, and then this cabinet is done. Thanks so much for sticking with me and watching these collection videos. I will admit it's been a little bit overwhelming, but that's okay. I'm getting through it. And yeah. So thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I really appreciate you being here. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you want to see the rest of the collection, don't forget to subscribe. And until I see you next time, bye.